guys, how's it going? It's Al. Week 2 is in the books, and what a freaking fantastic week it was. Guess what, guys? Double stack and bring back is viable. I'm going to go over every single thing that I did in week 2. We also have, I'm not even going to tease it, I'm not going to bury the lead. We had a member of the SmizzGang community take down the FanDuel Millionaire Maker. So freaking yay. I don't know how else to put it. Massive week. I got a live final seat through Rainmakers. I hope that you guys had a ridiculously good week. Why don't we just start breaking this down? Because this was just such an absolutely fantastic week. Let's go.
He's a legend.
The SmizzGang Listener League is up once again for week 3. It is 4,000 entrants, $10 to enter. It is a 3-max tournament, absolutely no rake. The best tournament that exists on DraftKings right now. Later in this video, we're going to shout out the winners, the top 10 finishers in the week 2 Listener League. So stay tuned for that. If you're in the top 10, you'll get your shout out a little bit later. This filled last week on Saturday evening. So you're going to want to get in early. Lock up your, reserve your 3 contests, reserve your 3 entries into this as early as you can. Smizzle.tv/links will take you there and to everything else that I do. All my other socials, my Twitch stream, everything else. It's right there in the link tree. Go check it out. There is a link. It's in 2 places on this video. It is down below in the description if you click show more. It is also in the pinned comment. Smizzle.tv/links is in the pinned comment on every video we do this year here on the Fantasy Football channel and on the main channel. So make sure that you get in the Listener League today. Let's go take a look at my article over on ESPN. It is called Best Buys. I have been doing this since 2015. This week was kind of a mediocre week for Best Buys, I do have to say. So you're going to find out why in just a second. As we move on through the week, this comes out every single Thursday morning on ESPN. You got to have ESPN Plus if you want to read it. But, ESPN Plus is essentially free. You all have Disney Plus anyway. We'll start with Russell Wilson, 14 of 31, 219 and a touchdown, 12.06. This is a miss. I'll take the L on Russ Wilson. I had him in one of my 2 high stakes lineups on the week, one on FanDuel, one on DraftKings. He struck out. Also, Judy got hurt, so that sucks. Derek Carr, 18.98 points. He was a consensus cash game quarterback. He did what he was supposed to. 29 of 39 for 252 and 2 touchdowns. Joe Burrow, 24 of 36, 199, 1 touchdown, ran for 26 yards, 16.56 points. Meh. And then Trevor Lawrence looked really, really good. Completed 25 of 30 passes for 235 yards and 2 touchdowns. They started running the ball in the second half as they were playing with a lead. 18.5 points for 5.3K. That's a win, but it's a really small one, and it's not going to win you anything in terms of GPPs. GPPs, we are really trying to isolate the quarterbacks that have opportunities at getting us 30-plus point days, right? Because that's how you win tournaments. Spoiler alert. Nick Chubb right there on top, and he was in our 5 under 5 video because I could not believe that this matchup was going to lead to him being that underplayed. But like, there were other values in this same range which kind of held down percentages, and everybody flocked to one of them, which is really silly in tournaments. So like, it's very easy to just minimize the most played running back and then juice up somebody else because running back was so deep in talent and matchup this week. 17 for 87 and 3 touchdowns, the last of which was great for us as fantasy players, but cost his team the game. Caught 3 balls. Nick Chubb got 3 targets, y'all. That's a lot for Nick Chubb. That's like 300 times more than he normally gets. He gets 0. It's infinitely more than he normally gets. For 26 yards, 32.3 DraftKings points. Thank you, Nick Chubb. That one is a smash. DeAndre Swift, downgraded him as his health got downgraded as the week went along. He ran the ball only 5 times for 56 yards. They relied on the passing game. Did get 5 targets, caught 2 of those for 31 and a touchdown, 16.7 points. So he turned out like fine, but like, we weren't really on him by the weekend because of that injury and how questionable he was. Saquon Barkley soaked up all of the rostership, all of the ownership this week. He was like 40% in the Millionaire Maker, which that's a ridiculous mistake. If you're piling on to the 40% running back who in the same price range has guys who are going to get as much volume as him, or at least within a couple of percent, you have to be willing to give up a couple of points on optimal. Even on ceiling optimal, if you're building tournament lineups, especially when it's high variance a play as a running back. I'm not saying Barkley's a high variance play, but a high variance position like running back, very injury prone. They're in 20, 30 collisions a game. Any one of them can result in a concussion and make your guy walk off the field. It's a massive mistake by everybody who played the Millionaire Maker who had anywhere close to that number of 40% in their allocations. So he did end the day with 11.8 points, but he was looking like a massive bust through the beginning of the day. He had 25 opportunities, 21 carries, 72 yards.
He's a legend.
Caught 3 balls on 4 targets for 16 yards. Ended with 11.8. So he's a miss. You kind of had to play him in cash. If you got off Darrell Henderson in cash, congratulations to you. As that news came out later in the week that like Cam Akers was going to see more run, they kind of split everything this week. Henderson projects to get over 75% of the running back snaps and touches. As that went down, you didn't have to play him as much. He was another fade in tournaments for the same reason that Barkley was a fade in tournaments. Not because he's not a good play, but because where's the ceiling and what do you have to get versus the percentage on them, as opposed to where can you find ceiling somewhere else. So Darrell Henderson, 10 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown. He was very efficient. 0 catches on 0 targets. Rams running backs do not typically get targeted all that much. That's where that ceiling kind of becomes a problem. He's a miss. I'll take the L there if you want. Jamar Chase, he was a miss. He got 9 targets, but like only caught 5 of them for 54 yards, no touchdown, 10.8. Michael Pittman got injured. That sucks. Jerry Jeudy got injured. That sucks. Christian Kirk was a massive win. Through 2 weeks, Kirk playing like 81% of his snaps in the slot has resulted in him catching a ton of balls. And Trevor Lawrence, seeing increased efficiency through the first 2 weeks versus where he was last season, has led to a line like this. 6 catches on 6 targets for 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. 25.8 DraftKings points. Let's get those Smizz Smash emotes in the chat because he absolutely did that this week. Allen Robinson, bounce back candidate, buy low candidate. Allen Robinson did fine, right? He 3x'd his salary essentially, and he got unlucky. Caught 4 balls on 5 targets, 53 yards and a touchdown, 15.3 DraftKings points. Perfect. He also caught a second touchdown where the whistle blew after the snap while the ball was in the air, and they said, no, there's somebody injured. He should have had another catch for another 5 or 10 yards and another touchdown, which would have been a ridiculous smash week for him, but it is what it is. Greg Dortch was our if-then statement of the week. It was very clear. He got there. Doesn't need that much to get there either, right? So $3,500 player, it just does not take all that much for them to achieve what we're looking for them to achieve. 4 catches, 4 targets, 55 yards and a touchdown. Very modest day from a statistical standpoint, but based on what his salary is, he scored 15.5 DraftKings points, an absolute smash. Again, if Rondale Moore is out in week 3, we're probably going to go back to Greg Dortch again in week 3, at least from a value perspective. But now he's priced up in week 3 to a point where you kind of have a decision. Dalton Schultz got injured. That kind of sucks. Caught 2 balls, 4 targets, 18 yards, 3.8 DraftKings points. That's a miss. I'll take the L there. Hayden Hurst got great volume, but did not produce great points. But at 3.6, he's not missing by all that much when he does this. Got 7 targets again. If he continues to get between 7 and 9 targets, 5+, 6+ targets, and stays under 4K, that is great for a quarterback for a tight end on an offense with a quarterback as explosive as Joe Burrow is. 7.4 DraftKings points for him on 7 targets. Mark Andrews, absolute smash. 11 targets, had 123 air yards or something like that, caught 9 balls, 100-yard bonus, touchdown, 28.7 DraftKings points. This is why I'm always willing to pay up in tournaments for a tight end, because there's like 2 tight ends for sure right now that have an every week route to a 25+ or a 20+ point day at tight end. You don't normally see that at the position. And really, we're just trying to get like 10 or 12 points. But if you can separate and get yourself a tight end that gets you this amount of points in tournaments, not only are you paying up to be contrarian, because they're never like 20 and 30%, they're usually like between 5 and 15. You're differentiating yourself from the field, and you're giving yourself access to a ceiling at a position where nobody else has a ceiling. So specifically on a slate where Travis Kelce is not on it, George Kittle is out. That's 2 less tight ends on that slate that have that sort of capability. Darren Waller, Kyle Pitts being others. Kyle Pitts not being utilized in that way. Darren Waller having to fight with Devontae Adams to have that sort of a ceiling. He'll have a couple games like that, but like Mark Andrews being the #1 target getter on Baltimore, and Travis Kelce being the #1 target getter on Kansas City, they have way more opportunity, predictably, to get to those ceiling games. So you kind of had to, you have to play Mark Andrews or Travis Kelce when they're on the main slate. You just have to do it. Logan Thomas came through for us. Favorite of mine, right? I have a special place in my heart, apparently, for Logan Thomas. I always gravitate towards him. 3 catches on 5 targets, 37 yards and a touchdown, 12.7 points. Very good day at 3.4K, but you see the difference between a good day for Logan Thomas and a good day for Mark Andrews. There's a 16-point gap between those two. Tampa Bay Buccaneers absolutely smashed. Dolphins absolutely sucked. Buccaneers had 26 points. Dolphins had -4, and the Bengals had 4 points. So let's move along to what happened over here on DraftKings. My cash game lineup was absolutely tragic. So if you're still here at this point in the video, drop a like on the video. Let's try and get to 10% of the likes versus views. If there's 5,000 views on this video, we need 500 likes on this video. That's it. It's very simple. Subscribe to the channel. 6 days a week on this fantasy football channel, there will be new content. Some of it rankings, Rainmakers video, and every Monday this recap video where I go over everything that I did. So subscribe to the channel and ring the notifications bell so it pops up on your YouTube front page and in your notifications box every time that I come out with a video. That's 6 days a week on the second channel. It's a lot of content we're putting out this year. I don't want you to miss any of it. Absolutely tragic day in cash games for me. I just did not have the, like, Alberto sucked. Dortch was fine. I basically played all the chalk. Adams didn't do anything. And I'm fine playing chalk in cash games. It just didn't work out for me. Barkley, as we predicted, Barkley, Henderson, and Adams were going to be, and the Bengals D were going to be the most played players in cash. People got off of Henderson, and that was the big separator. But you can see, like, I came in like way at the bottom. This paid how many? 50 spots, right? So to get to 50th, look at the gap. It's not that big. To get to 50th place, you needed like 108 points in cash games. Typically speaking, if you score 150 in cash, you're going to win a lot. You're going to win an awful lot, right? I mean, often. Like, slate by slate, when you score 150 with your cash game lineup, you're going to be profitable more often than not. I was nowhere close this week, but you can see nobody was close to that in cash games because basically all the chalk failed. But that's why we want to play the tournament lineups that we play, where we fade those types of players. So looking at the Millionaire Maker, I was profitable in the Millionaire Maker. I was in first place for the first half of games. That never holds, right? People are like, oh, you're in first place. I'm like, it's not going to hold, guys, but like, we're going to try and do what we do here. I had like 12% Tua double stacks. I had another 12% of Lamar double stacks. You can see here my top lineup: Tua, Jeff Wilson, trying to get off the chalk with some running backs. Swift, 5%. Hill, Waddle, brought that back with Andrews. Doolin was my favorite value player to get off of the more populous guys. Brought him back with Christian Kirk. Had the Giants defense in this one. Had a bunch of lineups in the top 1%. Top 1% being, I think, 2,300, right? Yeah, there's 236,000. So 2,360 lineups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of my 150 lineups. So like 8-9% of my 150 lineups were in the top 1%. That's what you're aiming for, right? That's got to be your goal, is to overweight the top 1% in tournaments, because that is really what you're looking to do. You just saw that $50 donation from SCUBON1C, Sam Forrest. Thank you very much for the $50 donated to No Kid Hungry. We're trying to raise $50,000 as a community. Every $10,000 that the community raises, I will add $10,000 myself. You can see that we just got to that first match, that first time that we got there. And the reason that we got there is this. If you had a good week this week on FanDuel or on DraftKings because of the content that I put out on this channel, please give yourself a second, go to smizzle.tv/charity and give back to No Kid Hungry, that provides school breakfast and lunches to food insecure kids all across America. We get to play this fun game, and we try to make a difference in community beyond our little community here. And as you can see, if we look at the top of the FanDuel Millionaire Maker, Sasquatch Crusher 21 took down the Millionaire Maker, donated $5,000 immediately on our recap stream today. Had Tua, Nick Chubb, Tua was in our top stacks, or was he the puke stack? I don't know if he made it, but I talked about him being the puke stack. Nick Chubb was in 5 under 5. Damian Harris, 5 under 5. Jalen Waddle was in our 5 under 5. Tyreek Hill, Tua, Tyreek Hill, Waddle is a double stack. Brought it back with Andrews, best buys player. Fantastic play on Garrett Wilson here with his 3 end zone targets the first week. He was at 0.5%. As touchdown heavy as FanDuel is, it's a mistake that the field, myself included, was not on Garrett Wilson on FanDuel specifically. And he came through with another 3 end zone targets this week, catching 2 of them for touchdowns. Greg Dortch, he had Chubb correlated with Wilson. He had the double stack bring back. Just a fantastically built lineup, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like, our community was on it, and you can see that how many lineups I had in the top 1% on DraftKings. I came in 25th, 93rd, 104th, 147, 153rd, 321st. I had all these top 500 on FanDuel as well. Here's my top lineup on FanDuel. Looks very similar. Tua, Chubb, Wilson, Hill. I had Curtis Samuel, Amon-Ra St. Brown as a secondary stack in this game. Andrews, Javonte Williams kind of sunk my hopes here, and the Jacksonville Jaguars defense at 21 points on the week. Just a fantastic week all around for like our entire community. I'm really happy for anybody that won. And if you won, every dollar helps. Consider $1, $5, $20. Every single dollar helps us get to these fundraising goals that we have to try and help food insecure kids all across this country. Taking a look at Rainmakers. Now, I said I won, and I did. I won a seat in Rainmakers. I got a qualifier seat. I ended up going through, here's all of the lineups that I had, right? Some of them didn't do so well. My Rainmakers lineup, this one won 1,000, or that was from week 1. Why are we all the way up there? This is down here. So here's the featured star win. I won a Kirk Cousins Rainmaker this week. 3-4, thank you for donating $20 to No Kids Hungry. Some of them didn't win. My Rainmakers lineups did not do very well. I just threw anything in that I can, but this is the one that won me the seat to New Orleans. This lineup right here, I had a Tua stack and a bring back just because I had them there. Damian Harris, he came in at 7.1% in that, and I had a Cooper Kupp superstar as the big dog in that lineup. I ran away with this one over Hishbu. So I won a seat. I'm going to $20,000 value. I'm going to have to actualize that in the live final, but I'm going to New Orleans. I get to go to Cafe Du Monde and get myself some delicious beignets. And then I won that Kirk Cousins with the Lamar Jackson, Josh Jacobs that we pulled live on stream. That short is on the channel. That it's everywhere, right? That I pulled this Josh Jacobs out of a pack that was free last week, goes into a lineup and wins me a Rainmakers Kirk Cousins. Tyreek Hill in that lineup. Andrews, a little bit of correlation there. Jacobs to Brown, and obviously Lamar as the superstar pairing with Andrews in that lineup. If you wanted more information about Rainmakers, make sure that you go check out the SmizzGang HQ key. We have a token locked portion of our Discord behind this key. You have to go to OpenSea to buy it. Smizzle.tv/HQ. Please only use my links. It is in Smizzle.tv/links for the HQ key, or you can go directly there by typing Smizzle.tv/HQ. Do not go to OpenSea and search for it. There will probably end up being some clones or some not official ones. This is the official one. You can see right here it has 124 owners currently. Only use our links to get there. We have a community of people that are dedicated to playing Rainmakers every single. God, the donations are wild today. D-Tools22, thank you for the $20 donated to No Kid Hungry. We have a community of people that are interested constantly. If you want to find out more about Rainmakers, if you want to surround yourself with people who are trying to make good decisions in Rainmakers, as well as get access to all of my investment advice for the game on how and when to attack, not necessarily exactly what to attack, but how you should go about your ways to attack. All of that is in our token lock Discord, the SmizzGang HQ. Taking a look at the cage match for this week, I did not do well, and I blame Trey Lance's leg for breaking in half. Clearly not his. I blame Nathaniel Hackett for not scoring more or doing things that would score more against Houston. Maybe Houston is a little different this year, and we need to start taking them a little more seriously. We'll find out as the week's go on. It's not a talented team from a roster perspective, but they are playing very, very well. And then James Conner got injured as well. So congratulations to Adam Levitan. His lineup was bad as well. 125 points is very low for any sort of cage match or anything. He ended up getting there. I lost by 30 points in this one. Mixon, Henderson, Renfro, St. Brown, Kirk, Alberto got nothing. Swift, Dolphins defense cost him 4 points. So an ugly, ugly cage match, but I had a really great time doing it. Sorry, we're gonna have to cut that out. I didn't know what this window was. And now we got to take a look at who won the SmizzGang Listener League. It was XCon 420 with his third lineup. Tua, 259.46 is ridiculous. Tua had Barkley at 47% in our tournament, 40+% in the Millionaire Maker. Had Nick Chubb, our tournament, a little bit sharper than the field on Nick Chubb, but like that's to be expected when, you know, if I say that this guy is under 5%, we're probably gonna be overweight on that guy. Had a Tua double stack, brought it back with Mark Andrews, had Dortch, had Doolin to try and get value here so that he could afford these guys here, and the Buccaneers defense at 3,300. Fantastic lineup. Congratulations to XCon. Matt 1356, Q-Tip 2222. Is that Q-Tip from A Tribe Called Quest? Love him. Willie T 23, I like that because it rhymes. Also, a lot of Tua stacks and Lamar stacks expected here at the top. Lolo 8137, Pick and Play, Dry Penguin number 2, B Wine, Matt 12D3, and Civ 30 MTU with Lamar Jackson. Stack with Mark Andrews, double brought it back with Hill and Waddle. Correlation is key, guys. Make sure that you are getting your lineups in tournaments sorted for what they have to be. Jeremy, thank you for the $10 donated to the kids. Guys, look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.